Marshall was 9 years old. School was not easy for him. He had a hard time with older boys who were bigger. They would push him and say mean things. Marshall felt scared every day. He did not want to go to school, but he had no choice. He had to go to learn. He hoped each day would be different. One day, an older boy named D'Angelo was waiting for him. Marshall tried to run, but D'Angelo was fast. He grabbed Marshall and pushed him hard. D'Angelo hit him and pushed him against the wall. Marshall wanted to cry, but tried to be strong. He didn't want anyone to see him as weak. The other kids watched and did nothing. Marshall felt alone, and his heart hurt. He thought, "Why do they hate me? What did I do wrong?" Marshall stayed quiet. He did not fight back. His small body ached. He thought about telling his mom, but he didn't want her to worry. D'Angelo finally let him go. Marshall felt relief, but also shame. He wanted to be brave, but he felt afraid every time he saw D'Angelo at school. Each day was hard for him. He wished he had a friend to help him feel safe, but he was alone. No one stood up for him. He tried to be brave. Marshall knew he needed to stay strong. He told himself, "One day I will be bigger. I will be stronger. No one will make me feel afraid again." Marshall's home life was tough, too. He lived with his mom, Debbie. She loved him a lot, but had her own problems that made life hard for both of them. Debbie had a sad past. She did not grow up in a happy home. Her own parents were not kind to her. Now she tried her best for Marshall. When Marshall was little, his dad left them. His mom had to raise him alone. Sometimes she felt very lonely, but she wanted to be a good mother. Debbie worried about money every day. She worked different jobs to keep them safe and fed. It was not easy, but she never gave up on her son. Some days were very hard. There was not always enough food. Debbie wished she could do more for Marshall, but she tried her best for him. Marshall could see that his mom was tired. He wanted to help her, but he was still young. All he could do was be good and listen to her. When Marshall's dad left, it made his mom very sad. She wanted a family that stayed together. She dreamed of a happy home, but things did not work out. Marshall sometimes thought about his dad. He wondered why he left. He had questions, but no answers. His mom just said he had to go. Marshall missed having a dad, but he knew his mom was always there for him. She was strong, and he wanted to be strong too, just like her. One day, Marshall's uncle, Ronnie, showed him something new. It was hip-hop music. Marshall listened closely. The sounds made him feel alive. Marshall loved the beat and the words. For the first time, he felt he could escape from his problems. Music became his new way to feel happy. Whenever he felt sad, he would listen to his uncle's tapes. Hip-hop gave him strength. He wanted to learn more about it and make his own songs. Marshall started to practice rapping. He spoke the words out loud, just like the people on the tapes. It made him feel free and full of life. He would practice every day. His voice got louder and stronger. He learned to rhyme words and make them flow, just like his favorite rappers. Each rhyme felt like a small victory. He felt proud of himself. Hip-hop gave him a voice. Now he could share his feelings in a new way. Marshall dreamed of becoming a rapper. He wanted to stand on a stage and share his words. In his mind, he saw a crowd cheering for him. Music became his friend. He no longer felt so alone. Every rhyme he made felt like a step closer to his dream, a dream that felt real to him. Marshall knew it would be hard, but he wanted to work for it. Music had given him hope, and he promised himself he would never give up. When Marshall was a teenager, he met a boy named Proof. Proof was kind and funny. He was also strong and confident. Marshall liked him right away. Proof saw something special in Marshall. He believed in him, even when no one else did. Proof made Marshall feel like he was not alone anymore. They became best friends. Proof taught Marshall how to stand up for himself. They shared secrets, dreams, and always had each other's back. Proof also loved hip-hop. They would rap together after school. They made up rhymes and challenged each other to make the best lines they could. Sometimes they would sit for hours, just rhyming words. Marshall felt happy. For the first time, he had a friend who truly understood him. Proof told Marshall that he was good enough to be a rapper. This filled Marshall with hope. Proof believed in him, and that made all the difference. Proof and Marshall dreamed of big things. They wanted to be famous one day. They both knew it would be hard, but they promised to work together. Proof helped Marshall believe in himself. He said, "One day, people will know your name." Marshall smiled, imagining that dream coming true. With Proof by his side, Marshall felt stronger. He thought, maybe I can make it after all. His best friend gave him hope and courage to go on. Marshall and Proof practiced rapping together every day. They wanted to get better, so they kept working hard. Their dream grew stronger with each rhyme. Some people laughed at them. They thought Marshall couldn't be a rapper because he looked different. But Marshall did not let their words stop him. Proof always told Marshall, "Don't give up." With Proof by his side, Marshall felt brave. He wanted to prove that he could make it. The two friends would stay up late, talking about their dreams. They promised each other that they would not stop, no matter how hard it got. Marshall knew that he would face challenges, but he was ready. He told himself, "I will keep going. I won't let anyone stand in my way." Every small step felt like a big win. Each day, Marshall's dream felt closer. He believed that he could make something special with his music. Proof and Marshall kept each other strong. They lifted each other up even when things got hard. They were more than friends. They were like brothers. Marshall learned that he could be strong too. Proof helped him see his own strength. Together, they felt ready to take on the world. They knew their journey would be long, but they were not afraid. With hard work and hope, they would keep going, step by step. As Marshall got older, he joined rap battles. These battles were tough, but he was ready. He wanted to show everyone that he was serious about his dream. In each battle, Marshall tried his best. He felt nervous at first, but the crowd's cheers helped him stay strong. He learned to enjoy the challenge. People were surprised by his talent. They had never seen someone like him in these battles. Marshall's name started to spread, and more people came to watch. Sometimes he lost, but he did not give up. Every loss taught him something new. He worked harder each time, knowing he was getting closer to his dream. Marshall's life was still hard. He did not have much money, and some days he felt tired and sad. But he kept going, knowing he had to be strong. His friendship with Proof kept him hopeful. Proof would tell him, "We're going to make it one day." Marshall believed him and held on to that hope. One night, he won a big battle. The crowd went wild, and he felt proud. He thought about all the hard days he had faced and felt stronger than ever. That win showed Marshall he was on the right path. People now knew his name. He thought, maybe my dream isn't so far away after all. Marshall's journey was not over, but he was closer. With each win and each loss, he was becoming the person he wanted to be. One day, Marshall got terrible news. His best friend, Proof, had passed away. Marshall felt a deep sadness he had never felt before. Proof was more than a friend. He was like a brother to Marshall. Losing him felt like losing a part of himself. Marshall did not know how to go on. Marshall thought about all the moments they had shared. Proof had always been there, pushing him to follow his dream. Now Marshall felt alone. Days passed, but the pain stayed with him. He missed Proof every day. Marshall felt lost, But he remembered how Proof always believed in him. Proof had told him to stay strong and keep going. Marshall knew he could not give up now. He had to honor Proof's memory by working even harder. Marshall felt that Proof was still with him, watching over him. This thought gave him strength. He decided he would keep going, no matter what. Marshall used his music to cope with the loss. He wrote songs about his feelings, hoping that others would understand his pain. It helped him feel less alone. Through his music, he could still feel close to Proof. He believed that Proof would be proud of him. This thought made him smile, even through the pain. Marshall learned that even though Proof was gone, he could still keep him alive in his heart. Proof's spirit would always be with him. After losing Proof, Marshall knew he had to keep going. He wanted to make Proof proud. His music became a way to honor his friend's memory. Marshall worked harder than ever before. Each song he wrote was filled with his true feelings. He shared his pain, his hopes, and his dreams in every line. Slowly, people began to notice him more. His music touched their hearts, and they felt his story. Marshall was no longer alone in his journey. One day, he got a big chance. A famous producer heard his music and wanted to work with him. This was the moment he had waited for all his life. Marshall was nervous, but he remembered Proof's words. "You can do this." With hope in his heart, he took the chance, ready to make his dreams real. His hard work began to pay off. People now knew his name, and he felt proud. His music was helping others, just like it had helped him. Marshall's life changed, but he stayed humble. He never forgot where he came from or the people who had helped him, especially his mom and Proof. He was thankful for all he had learned. Every hard time had taught him something. He knew he was strong because of everything he had been through. Marshall's journey showed him that dreams can come true, even from tough beginnings. He wanted his story to inspire others never to give up.